I will admit that after an introduction like that, I'm expecting great things.
You know what time it is? Fire! Boom! True peace and true elevation. Barak Shalom, my brothers and sisters.
And you, sir, did not disappoint. Barak Shalom to you, my brothers and sisters, and today, prepare to get woke in the ultimate fashion. This is the producer of a quote-unquote lecture series about our story, the hidden histories that were destroyed by the evil European man. And trust me, it's way better than you can possibly imagine. But what, you may ask, are we going to try to achieve here today?
So it's high time that you listen closely like a Japanese odachi, because you're about to get the true knowledge, the true wisdom, the true understanding, equal standing and overstanding right now. So let's go and hit that grand slam, a home run, bringing all this wisdom and knowledge and understanding, understanding, equal standing and overstanding. All right.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope that you and I, with the aid of this lecture series, can indeed achieve understanding, innerstanding, overstanding, and equal standing.
We're moving on to part 16 on the series of True Fact Story and the European manipulation, indoctrination, and deception.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at part 16 today, so I'm sorry if you're late to class, but I will be leaving a link in the description to the original video so you can peruse the backlog at your leisure. But what specifically does this video bring?
More truth about black people that they don't want you to know about.
Oh, I see. So this series is like a really long and drawn-out Kmart version of Hidden Colors, huh? Well, this ought to be fun. Who is they again?
The European power Caucasians don't want you to know about.
But why wouldn't they want you to know about it? What would they gain, exactly?
They know the truth. That's why they work so hard to keep so-called black people, Afrocentrics, down in the dirt below the pyramid.
Holy fuck, how are we already to pyramids? I mean, this isn't even the video proper. This is just the producer, quote-unquote, introducing the actual lecture.
So they don't rise to the top, back into the capstone of sovereignty, of rule, of righteousness.
They trying to keep you from rising to your righteous positions as kings and queens. Yeah, we have fun, but this one actually gets a lot more bizarre than that. Of course, if you don't watch these videos all the way through, or you're something of a hater, he has a preemptive commentary for you that he'd like you to listen to, and I frankly agree.
Do not half-heartedly watch my videos. You have to watch from the beginning to the end, from start to finish. As soon as the video stops, that's when you could click off the video, when the video completely stops. Otherwise, you are judging a book by its cover, which is very ignorant.
So don't leave a comment on videos you haven't watched from the very start to the very beginning, because otherwise you're an ignorant person who's judging this book by its cover. I mean, we all understand the urge to click away early because the information's coming at you so fast and it's so mind-blowing that for some people, opening up that pineal gland can be painful.
Very ignorant.
Extremely ignorant, I agree, my good man.
The greatest and highest form of ignorance is to reject something you know nothing about. And it's half-heartedly when you make comments or make statements without watching a video or videos all the way out and through.
So, I honestly haven't checked, but I do get the very distinct impression that his comment section is a fun place. But what can we expect here, my good man?
you're going to be getting some extremely powerful information that's going to awaken your mind. So let's get right to the video, my brothers and sisters. Take heed, take notes, and take action.
Mind you, that was a heavily edited version of his introduction, which, in its initial form, lasts about 7 or 8 minutes. It's pretty amazing to witness, and again, note, this is just the producer. This is not the actual video he came to show you. This isn't the lesson. This is him hyping the lecture. A lecture by a man who, I want to get this right. Yes, a man born Mastermind Allah. That is the name he goes by. That is his, I guess, stage name or lecture circuit name amongst the Afrocentric community. So, I suppose, without further ado, I bring you Born Mastermind Allah.
It's such a powerful topic. For one, these are sciences that's not being taught in school. So our babies are in school being taught the same old things that we were taught, that our parents and grandparents was taught, but they're not getting the full story. They're not getting full truth.
Mind you, I included the flame to show that I did not jump edit that. This is how his lecture starts. It's a lecture style I don't think I've ever seen before. I'll refer to it as in medias res lecture. It's a carryover from old fiction writing, I think. Okay, I'll grant you, if the science being taught in schools isn't the true science or not the true Afrocentric science, what does this true science or non-true science or white science, what does it do to the African man?
So when we walking around thinking that walking with a lack mentality or a poverty mentality or mentality that we are oppressed people, we are only oppressed because we give people the stick to beat us down with.
Well, you and I can actually agree on this one. I don't think walking around with a poverty or lack mentality is a functional way to improve your community, nor do I think that banging on about being an oppressed people is a functional way to help your community. What's your solution, though?
But in reality, this whole universe not only is us, comes from us, in tune with us, but is in our favor. And we're going to show and prove some of those things today.
Yes, I know, the absolute egoism of a statement like that, but understand that most of the Afrocentric movement is nothing more than ego protection. And we'll see a lot of that in this.
Let's go right in.
All right. So like the brother said, the name of this particular presentation is Sirius, the Golden Age and the Rise of the Black Gods.
I'm not even going to comment. I'm just going to leave this image on the screen for a second. This is the presentation. It's also not an exaggeration or some sort of hippie ideal that you've heard of before where, you know, we're all kind of gods and that we create our own universe by perception or no. Ironically, he roots himself in a lot of those ideas and then extrapolates from them the ideas that we would normally say were a bit schizophrenic.
And you can see in school, they still teach this model.
Yes, that is a simplified visual representation that is used probably in elementary, but what's your point?
They teach that the sun is in the center and our planets just rotate around the sun.
And this is somehow an inaccurate depiction of the movement of planetary bodies within the solar system. How?
As such, I once heard a Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad video.
A truly reputable scholar, no doubt.
Where he was teaching how they taught us that the planets moved around the sun. And then once we realized that the sun was moving also, then he said, what is the sun rotating around? We'll go into that a little bit later.
Whoa, dude, already my mind is blown. I'd never previously considered that the sun would be moving too. Holy shit. All right, I'm already on board. Let's see where this is headed.
And what is that solar system moving around? There is a second sun or star system that our sun is orbiting.
It for sure is not, and every known astrophysicist says that while there is a curve to the sun's movement, we're not certain what's caused it. However, we're certain what hasn't. And what hasn't is a star, or a star system.
And the name of that star system is Sirius, the Sirius star system.
So your argument is that our sun is in a binary orbital pattern locked in with the Sirius star system, an already existent binary star. Cool.
It is 8.7 light years from Earth and moving on a direct course toward our solar system.
Albeit it is true that Sirius, the star system, is currently moving towards us in general. Saying it's headed directly towards the sun is kind of an asinine statement. But yes, it will reach its apex of closeness several tens of thousands of light years away, having changed its intensity by about 10%. But pray tell, why is this so important to the Afrocentric community?
So as you see, our ancestors knew of these things. So it's important that we get acquainted with our cosmos. We get acquainted with our universe, because it is us and we are it.
Well, I think that's quite enough of your pseudoscience for now. Let's hop right to a portion of the lecture that I define as spiritual pseudoscience. And I have made some edits, but otherwise I'm going to let the next couple of minutes play uninterrupted.
The black woman is the physical embodiment, the physical manifestation of a supermassive black hole. At the galactic center of every known galaxy, there is a supermassive black hole. Inside every supermassive black hole, there is a new universe that is forming, or a universe that is forming. This very universe that we live in is inside of a supermassive black hole.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. According to this man's understanding of things, every single universe is in the symbolic center of a black woman's womb.
Forming. That universe forms from a particle, which is actually the seed of the black man. So when Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad was talking about the sun actually moving and that the solar system moved itself, he says it moved around the mind of the black man. We can't get caught up in our physical bodies, because we are actually that supreme intelligent force that birthed the cosmos, and all cosmos is now rotating around that supreme force, the intelligence, the consciousness of the black man, which is that torque, and that supermassive black hole, which is the black woman that all universes are born inside of.
If you recall, legend has it that Julius Caesar would have a man walk behind him, an advisor of sorts, who would whisper in his ear at great processions, "You're but a man, you're but a man, you're but a man," so he would never become caught up in the pomp and circumstance of his position. When I watch videos like this, I have a little man in the back of my head that says, "This person can vote. This person can vote. This person is teaching their kids this." And what is he teaching them? Well, black astrology.
We don't believe in astrology. We don't deal with this. We don't deal with that. Well, astrology, again, is a Greek term, and it's a watered down version of what our ancestors always taught. So when you look at astrology, you look at the word astro, which just means stars, and the word ology, which is the study of.
And this is going exactly where you think it's going.
When radio waves strike an electrical conductor,
like melanin,
the oscillating fields induce an alternating current in the conductor. The information in the waves can be extracted and transformed back into its original form.
Yes, he's describing the very simple technology of the radio in these terms because he's saying black people are radios for cosmic radiation. I'm not kidding.
So to say that we do not receive information from the stars, information from the cosmos, would not be correct.
Yes. Black people are radios for star information. Discuss. That being said, you can talk all the shit you want about this group, but this gentleman in particular is very democratic, and I am going to share with you now one of many occasions where a random person from the audience approaches and seizes the mic to explain their ecclesiastic position now.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, my brother.
What you all doing right now, this is powerful because you just set off a light bulb in my head.
Of course he did, nigga. You electric.
When we say the black man has always been here, some people don't know how to really break that down and go into that. We have always been here, and with the information that you're showing through the stars, through the moon, our people feel these frequencies from the moon. The women, they have their moon cycle. They feel that, and the moon brings these type of energies.
How is this not exactly like magically teaching an African tribesman English and then having him stand on stage and present something? He just brought up the fucking moon cycles, for Christ's sake. Like in the old medieval way of she's on her moon cycle.
The stars brings off these type of energies. We was always here, just not in this form, not in this physical body.
Yo, listen, we was eternal cosmic beings, though.
We have evolved into this body. So when we say everything that exists outside of you also exists inside of you. So we have always been here. And when the white man say, you know what? Y'all didn't build the pyramids. It was some aliens from outer space. Sometime we need to say, you know what? You're right. Because we are the goddamn aliens from outer space, goddammit. We are the true aliens. Everything that exists outside of you. Remind you now, when I say alien, I'm not talking about no goddamn green creatures and all this old spooky stuff that you see on the planet. I mean, that you see in the movies. You see, what I'm saying is, we are the ones that come from the cosmos. Yes. We are made up of the stars, of the elements of the universe. So, as within, so without. As above, so below. So it all exists with us, and it comes from. So we have always been here, just not in this shape and form that you see us in today. Right. That's what I want to say.
Yes.
That's right,
sir. And you are 100% right and exact.
100% right and exact.
Now I know this is just a model. This is just a model or a picture.
Oh, so you understand that this is just a model or just a picture, and you're going to derive something much deeper from it, but before the model and picture, you wouldn't even acknowledge was just a model, just a teaching aid, just a visual aid, which is all any of these things are.
But the blackness, we are that blackness that actually produce all of these stars. All of these cosmos, these planets. We are that black energy that produces, and everything else is just an extension of that original blackness, including the physical bodies that we carry today.
Now, understand, when I describe this movement as the last resort of ego defense, you can see how I come to that, right? Ignoring the gross misunderstanding of astrophysics, ignoring all that we know about science and how things have come to be formed, just understand that this is pure egoism.
If you look at the universe as a big brain, right? We are in these physical bodies, but we all contain the same brain.
We are the black hive mind. We are eternal. We come from time immemorial. We never forget. Alright, enough fun. Let's get back to your completely bizarre understanding of what's going to occur in the future. And or what has occurred in the past.
You have the golden age. The golden age is when our sun And the Sirius star system would be closest together.
Again, I tend to find these more fun if you just take them at face value and ignore the fact that it's utter lunacy. But let's assume that he's accurate. Why is this important, sir?
Now, in this Iron Age and Dark Age, we are the furthest from the Sirius constellation. So if we're the furthest from another sun or another star system, all of the electromagnetic energy, all of the radiation that we would receive by being in the golden age or even an age a little bit closer, we are far away from.
And as we can see, he appears to really like the idea and the word radiation. He uses it a lot. I think it makes him feel scientific.
If we understand the importance, particularly for original people, the importance of sunlight and solar radiation, the further we are from what could be called our sister sun, we know that we have a lot less radiation, a lot less electromagnetic frequency. Thus, consciousness would dwindle.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with the radiation raining down upon the surface of the earth from their glorious second sun, it's assured that all melanated people shall become human battery psychic supermen. It'll be phenomenal. 'Cause we all know that melanated people are solar powered.
Now, if you know, being a melanin dominant people, we are a solar people. So if we move this far away from the natural solar and star radiation that we were accustomed to in these different ages, naturally we would then have a fall.
Well, of course. In a time of a single sun, how could, indeed, a solar-powered people remain the dominant force? But who, I ask, would rise in their place?
Those that would rule in a time of darkness, in a dark age, in an iron age, would be an anti-solar people, a people who's more compatible to fungus.
You will now bow to your supreme mushroom overlord, solar-powered Negroes. And as you know, these supreme mushroom overlords, these fungal people, if you will, they'll do anything, they'll stop at nothing to retain their radiation-free globe. You see, the radiation would kill them, but it would enrich the melanated peoples. And there are many conspiracies about this.
We talk about global warming. The earth is warming up. Now they have what they call whitening of the earth, where they're putting out clouds, right? They're putting out sulfur clouds to block radiation outward, because they know what's going to happen if this earth get overrun with radiation. They're trying to extend their time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All this hoopla about global warming and attempting to stop that from occurring, it's just the paleface being concerned that the radiation will kill them. As you know, global warming is having nothing but positive effects on sub-Saharan Africa.
The fall of the devil.
Ah, you see what he did there? You see what he did there, though? You see how the devil's always signified as like a red beast, you see? And like white people, they skin turn red in the sun. So you see, the devil, you see?
If we know there are particular people on this globe that cannot take one sun, what in the hell are they going to do when there's two of them out there?
The way he delivers this line is amazing. I've probably listened to it a dozen times since the first time I heard it, and every time it gets me. But despite the confidence you show here, it would help me if you seemed more confident about exactly how many suns we're going to fall into our orbit.
And this is from one sun out there. What's going to happen when it's two? Maybe three, maybe four. Whole nother thing. And if you can see, in an age where we're going to have much more star radiation, solar radiation, and sunlight from two suns, maybe three, maybe four.
Whoa. I'm glad you put the brakes on there. I'd accept 4, but 5 would be going over the top. Also, all melanated individuals out there, don't worry about sunscreen or sun exposure or anything like that. it's completely fine. You for sure cannot get skin cancer or any sort of negative effects from overexposure to the sun. You're fine.
Depending on how you see the star system.
Just depending on how you see the future is how it will be. Depending on how you see the star system. And I'd like to think that that was just him speaking loosely, but in reality, he several times in the lecture says that there could be 3 stars floating around Sirius, and Western science just hasn't found the third one. And his citation is an Atlantis website.
We then receive this radiation, produce a photovoltaic effect, which is converting that radiation into electrical current, into electricity. We understand the importance of electricity in the body.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows that solar radiation has a photovoltaic effect on those who are melanin gifted. And pray tell, what effect does this have on the human anatomy?
The body's organs run on electricity. Dr. Sebi was brilliant in showing us that we are an electric people. The brain, the central nervous system, the heart, the cells all run on electricity. The cells itself contain an electromagnetic field, as do the whole body. So as neurons are firing and sending signals and receiving signals, that's all electricity.
This man is the textbook definition of a little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
And cellular regeneration. So electricity is the key to us remaining in this physical body forever. There is some science that teaches, and just by studying the body, you'll come up with this, I don't want to say theory or hypothesis, but I'll use those words for lack of a better term.
Oh, come on, black sciencey man. Why are you choosing to use Western scientific terms? You can't come up with something better? No, you're going to stick with theory or hypothesis? Not very superior man of you, sir.
You'll come up with the hypothesis yourself that the body is not designed to decay or die. It will completely renew itself perpetually once we are in the right and correct environment and do the right and correct things.
Yes, once the glorious second sun descends upon our atmosphere and burns up the white fungal wretch, we shall reign supreme by absorbing the solar energy and perpetually healing ourselves in its natural and right state. Someone's paying you to say this, aren't they? Groups of people are paying you to say this.
As melanin-dominant people, then not only is it likely, but it is quite practical that we will begin to then regenerate organs.
Just a bunch of melanated, irradiated, Wolverines, Supermen, Kangs running the earth from then that point on. This is your beautiful utopia.
Melanin, the connection. Melanin is a semiconductor. Some teach a superconductor, but at best they give us semiconductor, which I'll accept, because all you need is a semiconductor to produce a photovoltaic effect.
So how would one go about increasing the exchange of electromagnetism and photovoltaic energy between consenting sexual adults of melanated individuals? And also, what are your views on footwear?
Making love the right way, the way that we're supposed to be doing. And we're not worried about diseases, and we're not dealing with condoms, which are rubber, and rubbers are what? It is not a conductor of electricity. So every time we throw in that rubber, we are blocking the electrical current. That's the same with us wearing all these sneakers now. So we got to keep that in mind. With all, we got to come up with a better way.
This is why a lot of our ancestors wore barefoot to the ground.
Right.
They wanted to feel that electricity.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? They wanted the currents to go through their body.
Go through their body.
One with the earth.
That's right. So we got to get barefoot again. And we got to start producing shoes because we understand the environment we live in. We have to start producing shoes that conduct electricity, that's not blocking that electrical current. So as you have the black man and the black woman, or the melanin dominant man and the melanin dominant woman, when they come together, that is pure electricity. And that's why we are able to bring supreme beings to this planet.
Okay, so to rise up out of the state of cosmic distress that you're in, the community needs to stop wearing condoms and, I don't know, make a different kind of sneaker? Fucking amazing.
I know this picture's pretty familiar.
No, it is not.
That's why we cannot go to sleep. We have to stand up and protect our black woman. The same way we have to stand up and protect our subconscious mind. We can't just let anybody impregnate our black women the same way we can't just let anybody impregnate our subconscious mind.
And ladies and gentlemen, I argue that what we've done here is discover the Afro equivalent of those famed 14 words. So in the coming of this glorious new dawn upon which 2 suns shall rise on our horizon, after making love to my melanin-dominant woman, and, of course, not wearing a condom, while also being predominantly barefoot throughout my life, what is the result of all this?
And this is how we produce superhumans.
Of course it is. I don't even know why I asked. I don't even know why I asked. And what are some effects we can expect when we have these superhuman, irradiated, melanated individuals?
You will see an increase in mental ability,
Well, admittedly, that sure would be nice.
including psychic ability, telekinesis. Some of us are doing these today on very small levels and have been doing this all throughout the Dark Ages. So you can imagine what's going to happen when our thoughts and our brain is then charged with much more electricity.
You say that even in this time of darkness, even in this evil, fungi-imposed Dark Ages, this Iron Age, you've been using some of these telekinetic and psychic powers. May I have some examples from you and perhaps an audience member of these psychic events?
When we talk about telephones, I'm sure all of us can think of a time when you were thinking of someone and then they just called you or reached out to you almost out of the blue.
Or
Yep.
you could be thinking of a song, and next thing you know, you hear the song playing.
That's right.
See? Another thing, too, to show you the frequency and the connection is,
Right.
you could be,
Come on, get up on that mic, brother.
let me say this right quick. Right. Another thing to show you the connection that we have with each other is that you could be right over there yawning. And I wouldn't yawn until I see you yawn or I feel you yawn. The next thing, have you ever noticed that? Yeah. You yawn right behind it. We yawn together. And we be like, oh, shit. And this happens all the time.
That is called sympathetic yawning, and fucking dogs do it, lad.
You see, you could be thinking of a song in your head. Next thing you know, you hear the song playing. Or you could be thinking of a brother. Next thing you know, oh, there you go right there. I was just thinking about you. Right. Or you be ready to call somebody. Next thing you know, they calling you. You be like, yo, brother, I had the phone in my hand. That's right. That's the connection right there.
Yo, that is some impressive power. I am now officially a believer in the Afro-psychic phenomenon. That is some impressive shit, dude.
And our movement. When we look at these superheroes and they show them flying through the air. Now, when we saw Michael Jordan in 1988.
Ow, man, that almost gave me whiplash. How do we go from superheroes to No.
Right? This was in 1988, directly in the middle of the Iron Age. Well, maybe not directly in the middle of the Iron Age, but we were in it. The Iron Age, Dark Age, damn near furthest away from Sirius as we can be, and you see a melanin-dominant brother flying from the free throw line, even if it's but a split second. It was longer than a split second.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's mark the date. 1988, Michael Jordan, first melanated superhero. It's a lovely world we live in. So, granted, all this is true, and the radiation that will be pouring from the sky will indeed be absorbed into the melanated bodies. I'm certain that these Afro-scientists have discovered what organ in the body does all the heavy lifting here, right?
Giving birth to Heru, which refers to the pineal gland.
Of course it does, because everyone knows it's not a YouTube conspiracy video until someone brings up the pineal gland. So, in brief, what have you discovered about the anatomy of this henceforth unstudied area of the human brain?
We receive light through the eyes. We also have a third eye, which is the pineal gland. So that light, then we talk about pineal gland activation.
As usual, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone full circle, and we are to decalcify and activate your pineal gland. I'm absolutely certain that this gentleman likely has some suggestions of products that one could buy to assist in the decalcification of one's pineal gland. Before we end this video, let's hear your Afrocentric version of the Book of Revelation.
And as we move closer and closer, you will see the rising of consciousness, because thoughts, again, are electrical impulses in the brain. Neurons fire off of electricity. So as there's more radiation in the atmosphere and we're converting that radiation into direct current of electricity, you will see our consciousness rise. You will see us becoming more physically superior than we have ever been. You will see the intelligence grow as the original people of the planet Earth, and you will see anyone against us or anyone melanin deficient will then fall. They will fall due to disease. They will fall due to not being in tune with this universe, because they are not one with this universe. They are a mutated form, or a fungus that will then, or a bacteria or a parasite that will then be wiped out as the earth continues to heat up. So what we must do in this day and time is prepare and make sure that we are in tune, eating the right things, thinking the right thoughts, projecting the right images into our minds, and unifying as a people as is predicted that we will do, so we will not be left behind and taken off this earth with the devil.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. May you ascend to your proper Godhead and not be wiped from this earth as the fungal devil shall inevitably be. But that's it for me, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was a relatively long one in comparison to most of what I put out, but I edited out most of the repetition and most of the fluff, including his detailed nutrition plan. However, I will, as I said in the beginning, be leaving a link in the description, and I advise anybody who likes this kind of thing to go check it out. I could not help but drudge it up to the surface of the internet from the depths of which I found it. As usual, thanks for being here. Stay safe. Good luck. And goodbye.
Go ahead, brother.
Let me see if I could correct you on one thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't say die. I just say transform.
Yes, sir.
Because, you know, the trees are energy.
Yes.
Energy can't die. So, you know, we just change forms.
Yes.
And that's what the tree is going through right now. Just a little transformation. Right. So I like this presentation that you're putting up, because when you look at that, you can bring that right back to us too. Because we loses our color. We get pale when that sun is no longer coming through. Because you know that right there, the sun is a charger for our melanin. Right. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't get charged up, we begin to get just like the damn tree and start, you know, the leaves don't fall. It's symbolic. Right. You see what I'm saying?